Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So we're up and running. While plenty argue, Jim, that Lothar Matthäus is the complete footballer. Do you think so?
Yeah, he's a goal-scoring number 10 and a sweeper all in one. That's a pretty unique skill set. His career is all about leadership, glory and superb character.
And not a few goals, actually.
Yeah, of course.
Mbappe. Now it's Haaland. He is just caressing the ball. And it's Thuram. Puyol producing a good steal there, showing a good level of alertness. Over to the right flank. Aimed beyond the defence. And he's straight offside. Platini receives it in a wide position.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
Both sides exercising caution for now. Neymar. And here's Mbappe. Ambitious ball here. Oh, well played, well played. Well, that is one way to stop him. Well seen, saw that coming.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Bastoni, nicely shaped cross. Vieira. Quarter of an hour played. Now it's Haaland. Tries to play it through. Raul. Takes on his marker. Now it's Kimmich. Oh, he's played it in low. That is a brilliant interception. Could move up a gear here. Platini.
Well, a few of his teammates are quite furious with him as they felt they were within reach, but he made nothing of it. His boss doesn't look too amused either.
Matthäus. Matthäus! Oh, the ball's run loose here. Kukçu. That's a sharp pass. Now it's Raul. Knocks it into space. Vieira makes the interception. So a third of the match, or thereabouts, gone, and we still await the first goal. Haaland! Haaland! Goal! Inter! And Inter go in front. You don't keep those outs. He knew, he just knew.
And you can see he meant every bit of that, Peter. He had his head up as he went to hit it. He knew his landscape.
The first breakthrough.
Yeah, it's rare that one is enough, though, Peter. I get the feeling they'll be wanting another as soon as possible.
shifted it to the flank. Just coming up to the 30-minute mark. A probing pass, and that's a danger. Shapes to shoot! Well taken goal. And that takes him up to 30. 30 goals for this side. More or less by himself, as cool as you like.
Well, how's that for composure, Peter? You can see the keeper tried to put as much pressure on him by staying upright, but it didn't faze him.
There's the shot! Caught offside that time. No, he wasn't going to let him past. And again, they run up against stubborn defending. Mateus, looking to pass their way up the pitch. Seedorf.
That's alert and sharp and very well played.
Searching pass he's played there. Inter Milan heading towards the half-time break. The wind very much in their sails. All perfectly measured that. Thuram. Seedorf making good progress on the right-hand side. Oh, that's superb. Real chance! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Haaland actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest. Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
And it's made its way to it. Great chance! Relentless! Just relentless! They are purring, truly purring. And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly. And that's it. And with that, it's time for me to thank Jim Beglin and to wish you a very good evening. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. We're up and running then.
Well, this 4-4-2 formation is often used in the modern era defensively, but it used to be the gold standard of formations a generation or so ago, Peter, and it does allow the fullbacks to play a key role in attack.
Yeah, they offer most of the width, don't they?
Exactly. You want them to be high up the pitch so they can get themselves into the final third whenever possible. This will, of course, ask an awful lot of the centre halves and the central midfielders, who'll need to drop into position and cover the spaces.
Yamal. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Now it's Rice. Well, here's a guy who's come as close as you can to perfecting the game, though his demeanour could barely be more modest. He really is every bit the anti-Galactico.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that he's one of the great all-time midfielders until you actually see...
There's the shot! Goal! Inter! Oh, that is a sweet finish, gorgeously controlled and ruthlessly dispatched.
Oh, what a touch. I mean, how good was that? Poetry in motion.
South Korea finding themselves unexpectedly behind. Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy. Seedorf unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. First quarter of an hour gone. Ronaldinho, Iniesta, lovely, now then. Ronaldinho! Oh, so close to what would have been a memorable goal.
Ronaldinho can really show some outlandish skills, which is always welcome and obviously refreshing.
He won't be happy with that one. And here's Seedorf. Nicely aimed pass. Now it's Neymar.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Haaland, very much a man of this moment. South Korea are a team that's fond of the low block. They sure defend in numbers.
Yeah, the whole point being to go back to front as quickly as possible, Peter. Of course, once the ball has been won.
Yeah, balls over the top, long diagonals, that's the plan. Ah, such a clever touch. Now it's Ronaldinho. Oh, this looks sharp. Ronaldinho really struggling to influence the game.
Look, he could do with someone else taking responsibility to shift the target. He badly needs some help here.
Eto'o in acres of space out wide. And it's Rice. Now it's Haaland. Can he finish? Good strike, quite an alarm.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
Iniesta. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. And the score is 1-0. And here's Ronaldinho. And the shot! And he's stuck it away. A two-goal lead, and they're firmly in control. And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
So that's two now without reply.
Well, now's the time you could afford to be more daring, Peter. It may be tempting to sit on this, but I'd say go and grab a third. And he could have done himself a massive favour by just lifting his head up there. You know, it would have been a better picture of what was going on around him.
And here's Eto'o. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. No way through. Ronaldinho. Now it's Hullet. Yamal played with finesse. Oh, it's come loose. And again, he is at his elastic best.
Another cracking save from the keeper, Peter. He's playing a blinder.
Haaland is herring after that one. And this is Neymar. Well seen, saw that coming.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Now it's Haaland. Now it's Seedorf. Seedorf. And he was alert to it. Ronaldinho. Yamal. Ronaldinho. Now it's Hullet. Searching pass he's played there. Great chance! And that's in! And deep into first half stoppage time. A timely strike. And that is indeed the final act. So we have here a genuinely competitive game with neither team truly in control. A single goal the difference at half-time. Caution certainly not on the agenda here from both sides.
Well, I think the message from the manager at half-time will be pretty simple, Peter. He's going to want them to play at a higher tempo, press more, higher up the pitch, pass quicker, and entice the opposition out of position. He knows how crucial the next goal will be.
Inter Milan are leading, but it is still delicately poised. It's 2-1. And we get things going again. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. And it's Neymar. Ronaldinho, played out wide. Engages and forces him off the ball. Cucurella made a surge from full-back. As it turned out, unsuccessfully. This looks promising. Seedorf. Ball comes in. Keeper has taken decisive action. And here's Ronaldinho. Seedorf. And that interception was... Chance for a shot! Oh, the ball... And one more try!
Well, the keeper seemed to go into study mode then, and he's read it beautifully.
Cafu. That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. And here's Haaland. Shot at goal! It's bounced back off the post. And that was probably asking just too much.
You can never be too safe with someone like him around. They got away with that.
Oh, facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup. Passing is crisp and sharp, and he's chosen to go back.
They're really getting no time to think on the ball here.
Iniesta. Now it's Hullet. Looking for the run. Cafu finding himself in space. Eto'o. And the counter is on. Rodri. Ronaldinho is always playing with one eye on the spectacular. Rice. Haaland has created one goal already. It's Seedorf. Now it's Neymar. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Ronaldinho.
They've got to make this nice and quick.
Ronaldinho. He has found the way through. He's having a shot! Silvestre clears. Rodri. And it's Rodri. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. No, not quite on the same wavelength.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
This is a really front-footed approach.
I think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
Iniesta. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Neymar. Hullet. And it's Iniesta. And it's Neymar. And he's managed to get free. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. And here's Iniesta. He tries a shot! Oh, wonderful effort, all by himself.
Lamine Yamal just backs himself every time. Give him a challenge and he'll rise to it.
So we have movement on both benches.
Number 16, Rodri. Number 15,
Half an hour gone in the second half.
coming off the field.
He's being chased here by an unwelcome guest.
Number 4,
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
Oh, we expected better, and so did he. Played into space.
Inter surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
Oh, that's a clever-looking ball. Can he get it through? Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Yamal going face-to-face with his great rival. He's having a hit! And a truly agonising miss.
Well, I think that look says it all, Peter. Brilliant save from the keeper. He read the situation superbly.
He's picked his way through into the last 5 minutes. Bellingham. Oh, super ball. Chance! Goal!
Look, that was a technical interaction of great football. That has gone down a treat.
Inter Milan have surely won it, or so you would think.
Well, that's a really bitter blow. I think it's going to be very hard for them to find the character to respond from that.
Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Another pass just keeps it ticking. Takes a shot! Wonderful from Ibrahimovic! He's got himself an absolute peach. Up by 3. They have their boots on the throats of their foes.
Well, I don't want to be overly harsh on the defensive side of things here, Peter, but the build-up was so...
Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Inter Milan can look back on a nigh-on perfect performance here. Oh, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. There's the whistle. So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Well, Peter, I think the role Jude Bellingham will be given will be important here. He's like a combination of a number 8 and a number 6. Great defensively, very aggressive too in going after the ball. But he's also a very neat dribbler, so not the type to stay put. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of that today.
Yeah, I'd have picked him too. No doubt the fans feel much the same way. And it's Baggio. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Messi. That is a great pick out. Some good work on the right flank here. Thuram cuts out the pass. Bellingham. And that interception was most necessary. And he was quick to react. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Pretty cagey early on from both sides. And here's Dembele. Plays a sharp little ball here. And they've got rid. Really didn't have enough to concern the defence. Bellingham. Roberto Baggio. That's a sharp pass. He is through here. And here's Messi. Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. And here's Ibrahimovic. Looking to pass their way up the pitch.
It's not the game we were hoping for, Peter. I think both of these keepers could text about their respective uninvolvement.
He has a look up. Oh, sweet feet. Roberto Baggio with the cross. Ibrahimovic constantly looking for the ball into the box. Over to the right flank. Great vision.
You can never be short of runners into space, as long as the space left behind is filled.
Big chance! Goal! Inter! And just like that, he's into double figures now. That was easy, almost too easy.
Such a smart finish, and the setup was very good too, but defensively, they didn't cover themselves in glory here.
Inter Milan have broken through. It's 1-0.
Yeah, and just as the manager's been reminding his players, this is the time where they can't afford to let their focus slip.
Just coming up to the 30-minute mark. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score. And here's Dembele. Messi, a player who needs no introduction. Bergomi. Out for a throw. Makaleli conjures time and space where few can. Thuram. And here's Mbappe. And this is Ibrahimovic. And he welcomes it in. Valverde.
Inter really should be happy to let this half run out now and go again second.
Bellingham. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Bergomi proves too strong. Mbappe. And it's Messi. Turns back here, probably the best option. Can he get onto this? Varane does really well to win the ball there. And the shot! Roberto Baggio. And that has put paid to that. And here's Ibrahimovic.
Inter have really been terrific at snuffing out the threat. Now for something different.
Mbappe! Well, that wasn't too dissimilar to the previous attempt.
Inter really have stepped it up now. They could have been a bit more greedy and forced the issue.
And now a sudden chance to counter. Roberto Baggio. Romario has the space to scheme, and that's gone loose. Goes down, but nothing given. And that signals the end of the first period. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead, and that gives them something to build on after the break. Inter Milan come in leading by just the odd goal.
I thought that was a decent 45 minutes of football. Plenty of signs that both managers can take a lot of encouragement from. I would say the mood is neither overly negative nor positive. You still have to approach this like it's 0-0.
Inter Milan leading via the game's only goal, 1-0 at the break. Away we go again. Inter Milan leading courtesy of the game's only goal. Vieira did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. And it's Bellingham. Vieira has quite the footballing brain. He's almost never outsmarted. And here's Ibrahimovic. Mbappe going face to face with his great rival. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Bellingham looking to add to his goal. And they win it back again. This is a promising build-up. Oh, cracking ball. Valverde. Now that looks a decent ball. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Makaleli. And here's Ibrahimovic. Bellingham. Lovely bit of skill. He's had a shot! And yes, it's there! And there's the goal they've been looking for. Simplicity itself.
Again, that's terrific movement, Peter, and an even better pass. It's beautifully played.
Time then for the first substitution of the game. Inter Milan are doing very nicely, thank you.
You can really sense how important this goal was for them. They needed it, now they have it.
Can he get on the end of this? And it's Zambrotta. Bullet, who can single-handedly make a difference. And he's managed to get free. He's had it taken off him. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Ronaldinho. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Passing is crisp and sharp. Played out wide. Thuram. Vieira. He's being urged to shoot. And here's Eto'o. It's Eto'o! Oh, it's hit the post. Decent chance! Euphoria, utopia, and they are cavorting. And with that, it is pretty much a done deal.
It just came down to a battle of wills between him and the keeper, and he won it with a cracking piece of trickery.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that faith.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
A case now of complete control.
Well, their manager seems to have them always thinking about the next goal. When's the next goal coming? They're such an entertaining watch.
That's a nicely shaped ball. It's an inviting looking ball, that. Varane gets across to intercept that. Valverde. And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Hazard. Oh, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward. Valverde. And it's Valverde. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Valverde. Roberto Baggio pinches it off him. Hazard, the specialist in tearing teams apart. Bellingham. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Ferdinand. Inter Milan are coasting towards victory. Now it's Valverde. Vieira wins the duel this time. Bullet. And he's had it nicked away. Zambrotta. He's got away. And he's been shifted off it. Hazard. And he's worked it through. And this is Hullet. Barcelona can breathe again. Just.
Well, that tackle was immense, and so was the relief. The great escape.
Tries to play it through. Varane deals with that comfortably. A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball. If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
And time is up. Inter Milan can look back on a nigh-on perfect performance here. A super contest.